Can we pause?
I'll cut it out.
Okay. So
Hang on, while we're doing that, let me adjust this a little bit. Top of your head was cut off.
that's nice. Alright, welcome back to Meki's Tutorials. Last episode we talked about the law of action and reaction. And this episode we will be talking about the law of frictional force. So, friction is that thing that makes things stop. So I'm going to push the book out of the way. The book is smooth, the surface is smooth. There's almost no friction. I'm going to push this box of screws. It doesn't go very far. There's plenty of friction to stop it. Now your frictional force is the actual force that causes friction. So in this case, it's the force that when you have an object moving this way, your frictional force will be pushing back this way. It's just a simple law of physics. It is one of Newton's laws. Well, part of it, not all of it. Okay, so to demonstrate our friction, we will be making an airplane. Now, to get started on making the airplane, we're going to take two curved frames, two 2x3x9s, and then two 2x7s, and lots of screws. You're gonna need lots of screws for this one. Okay, so you're gonna look at your diagram and you're gonna place them on where they need to go. So one of them is gonna go here, like so, once I get it screwed in. And then the other one will go the opposite of that. Now it tells you to use long screws and nuts at the end. Alright, I will put the nuts on in a minute. We're going to take the next one. And then, no, that's not right. I did it wrong. Alright. You're going to want it to be going across. Like so. I knew something was wrong. Okay. Next. Two more long screws. And then we can take our nuts and screw those on the ends. Okay. Once you get your nuts screwed on, you're going to take your 2x7s, and those will go on the tops here. You're going to leave this little piece open, and they're going to be screwed in here. And those will also take the long screws with the nuts at the end. Now, because all of these are such tedious and annoying little things to do because there's a lot of screwing on, you can be thinking about how friction works. So, if you've ever been ice skating, you know that it's really easy to slip and fall. But if you ever have taken a run on the beach, it's really hard to run. I would not recommend it. That's because ice has almost no friction. It is a very slippery and smooth surface. Sand, because of how much it can weigh, and how it sinks and stuff causes lots of friction. It is not a smooth or even flat surface. So you can think about ways you personally have experienced friction. Now, step 2, you're going to flip these over so they look like this and set them down. And then you're going to take 2 2-unit blocks and 2 3-unit blocks, and then 1 4-unit block. Okay, so on your left side, you're going to take your 2-unit block, stick it on the opposite end of the blue, and then your 4-unit block will go on top of that, and right behind, or I guess in front of that, will be your 3-unit block. It should look like this, all angles. Alright, right side. 3-unit block goes where the other one did, and so will your 2-unit block. Except you're not putting a 4-unit block on this one. Okay, on to step 3. Now you can set those pieces aside. We'll use them in a minute. Grab a 1x3 frame, and then you're going to take 1 more 2-unit block and 1 more 4-unit block. And short screws, those will go on the ends here. Leave the hole in the middle open. And make sure when you end up screwing these on that they are facing the right direction. Your 4-unit block will face up, and your 2-unit block will face to the side. So you want the pegs on the side and the pegs up. And make sure you tighten it with your screwdriver. You don't want pieces to come loose, because that is not fun. Okay, now step 4, you're going to take this and you're going to take your little domed supporter. To me it looks like a nose. You're going to stick that in the middle hole. Ooh, it's a tough one. All right, there we go. And then you're going to take a 2x5 and screw that on the end of the 2-unit block. So it will look like that. All right, and then you'll take your L frame and put that on the end of the 4-unit block. And you'll want it facing away and a little slanted, almost like an airplane tail. Okay. There we go. Now that will be put on your left side with the extra block. It's going to go like so, with your 2 units at the end of your 4-unit block on top of the 2x7. So it should look like this. Okay. So after that, you're going to take both of these and put them together. Like so. And you'll want to stick the 2 on the end here. So now, it looks like you have the tail of your airplane. Okay. Next step, we're going to make the wheels. This does not want to stick. Okay. It's a little finicky because it's not exactly straight, it's curved. It'll be okay though whenever we're all done. Alright, you're going to take your 2 small wheels and a long shaft and then a medium shaft. And you'll want a shaft connector, or a long boss as the book calls it. Alright, you're going to take 2 silicone bosses one on the end of each shaft for each wheel. And then you're going to take your short bosses on the opposite end, or I guess inside outside, so your wheel stays in place. So you don't want it moving around. That'll be a pain. Alright. It doesn't matter where the long shaft is, and it doesn't matter which one the short shaft is on, because they're just going to be connected. So those, as seen in step 8, will go through the end of these. So you can put your little boss on, and then you connect the two. So now you have that. Oh my goodness. That's weird. My other one did not do this. Okay. Now flip it over and take your 2x13 and let's see. You're going to flip it so your big hole is on the bottom, and you're going to use this one and this one. Short screws. Okay. Okay, depending on how your airplane is situated, it might be a little difficult, but it shouldn't be. I don't know why it's acting this way. Okay, there we go. Now, going to take your 3x3 frame and then 2 more 3-unit blocks. The 3-unit blocks will go on your underwing, your little biplane, and it'll go, if you count the middle row, 2 over. So you can flip it over to screw it in, or you can screw it in upright. I prefer to flip it, it's easier. Okay. So it should go here. And then the other one will go in that exact same place on the other side. Okay, and your pegs will be facing outward. There we go. Next, your little 3x3 frame will go on the end of your airplane, or the front end of your airplane. So it'll look like this. Okay. Then you're going to take your other 3x3 frame and a long shaft, and you're going to stick it through the middle one. And then take a silicone boss and stick that on the end, and then a short boss and stick it on the other end. Okay. There we go. Now that will be screwed on to the very front of your airplane with 2 small screws. Those will go in the end of the 2-unit block there. Okay. And we are almost done. It does not want to go in. this should hold it in place. There we go. Okay, now you're going to make your little propeller. So you're going to take your gear and stick it on the shaft. Does not, there we go. Okay, and then you will take it's 1x6, I can't count right now. Stick that through the very middle, and then put your silicone boss on the end, and you have an adorable little propeller. Okay, very last part, you're going to take 2x9s, and you're going to set them to where that's not right. That's not right. Okay, so you need to set them where one screw goes here onto the end of the 3-unit block, and where one screw goes about in the middle around here on the other 3-unit block. But at the moment, it doesn't look right for some reason.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
Something is wrong with my current airplane. One second. Okay. You're going to want to put it on this one. Or at least try, because in the book it has you do it on the other one. So I don't know how, because it doesn't line up like that. Unless I'm done. Okay. Like I said, the books are really confusing sometimes. They're not exactly completely perfect. Hence our videos. Okay. Alright, last screw. Okay, all done. There's your airplane. Now, there's a small little game you can play in the back, and there was also one for the little knight, which I didn't realize. It's basically a game that'll help teach you about friction. It's up to you if you want to play or not. Well, have fun with your airplane. 3, 2, 1. Should we just restart this video?
Yeah. Okay. Maybe say, you see how this stops? That's friction in action.
Friction and action?
Yeah.
Friction and action?
Yeah.
Friction and action.
Yeah.
You know how weird
Friction
that's
and
friction and action.
I know.
Action and reaction.
Friction and action. I can say friction. That's where you can still see it, but it's not.
Perpendicularly pressing the contact surface.